In 1921, one of the most important poets of the 20th century collapsed. T.S. Eliot was not starving, unknown, or obscure. He was already respected, published, and admired, but his mind was failing him. Sent to a psychiatric sanatorium in Switzerland, Eliot believed, quietly, that his life as a poet might already be over. What happened instead was stranger. While Eliot was breaking down, another poet, Ezra Pound, was cutting his work apart, reshaping it into the wasteland. And long after Eliot recovered, it would be Eliot who stood by Pound when Pound lost everything. Before the wasteland, Eliot was already a formidable mind. Born in St. Louis in 1888, he was raised in a family that valued discipline, intellect, and restraint. Emotion was not something he was taught to express. Thought was. At Harvard, Eliot absorbed philosophy, Sanskrit, religion, and literature. He felt out of place in America, yet never fully at home in Europe. By his late 20s, he had settled in England. He worked at a bank. He wrote essays and criticism. He published poetry. In 1915, he wrote the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, "I have measured out my life with coffee spoons." This was not romantic poetry. It was anxious, self-conscious, restrained, already the voice of a man observing life from a distance. But Eliot's life was tightening around him. His marriage to Vivian Hay Wood was unstable and emotionally exhausting. Married in 1915, separated permanently by 1933, and by 1938, Vivian's family had her committed to a mental hospital, where she remained until her death in 1947. Both suffered physically and psychologically. Eliot felt trapped by duty, guilt, and exhaustion. Outwardly, he was succeeding. Inwardly, he was fragmenting. Poet and literary icon Ezra Pound entered Eliot's life like a force of nature. Pound immediately recognized Eliot's genius. He called Prufrock the best poem written in England in years. He promoted Eliot relentlessly, introducing him to editors, publishers, and the modernist circle. But more than that, Pound believed in Eliot when Eliot himself did not. Their relationship was not sentimental. It was intense, demanding, and rooted in craft. Pound pushed. Eliot refined. Pound was expansive. Eliot was controlled and precise. They needed each other, but grew to care for another deeply throughout their lives. Pound, often portrayed as reckless, recognized when Eliot's mind was breaking and intervened when no one else would. By 1921, the pressure became unbearable. Eliot was overworked, emotionally numb, physically ill, and spiritually exhausted. He suffered what was then called a nervous breakdown, what we might now describe as a severe depression and burnout. Sent first to rest on the English coast, then to a sanatorium in Lausanne, Switzerland, a psychiatric clinic designed to treat mental collapse. This was not a dramatic asylum filled with screams and chains. It was quieter and perhaps more frightening. Eliot felt emptied out. It was here in this state he drafted much of The Wasteland. I can connect nothing with nothing. This was not a metaphor, it was diagnosis. While Eliot was in Switzerland, his friend Ezra Pound took the manuscript, and then he did something extraordinary. He cut it nearly in half. He removed entire sections. He stripped away satire. He sharpened the fragmentation. Most poets would have been furious. Eliot wasn't. Instead, he accepted almost every cut. What emerged was not a repaired mind, but a precise representation of collapse. Eliot later dedicated the poem to Pound as the better craftsman. Without Pound, The Wasteland would exist, but it would not be what it became. Eliot survived, but he was never the same. After the breakdown, he withdrew emotionally. He became intensely private and sought stability over brilliance. In 1927, he converted to Anglicanism. This was not fashionable, it was grounding. His later work, Ash Wednesday, 4 quartets, moves away from fragmentation towards stillness, silence, and acceptance. Eliot did not try to conquer chaos. He learned how to live within limits. Meanwhile, Ezra Pound took the opposite path. Pound grew increasingly ideological and politically extreme. During World War II, he made radio broadcasts from Italy that supported Mussolini and attacked the Allied forces. After the war, Pound was arrested for treason and thrown into a cage in Pisa before being extradited to the United States. Declared mentally unfit to stand trial, he was confined for 12 years at St. Elizabeth's Hospital, a federal psychiatric institution in Washington, D.C. This is where the story often turns uncomfortable for some people. Because T.S. Eliot supported him. Eliot visited Pound. He defended Pound's poetry. He helped secure the Bulligan Prize, administered by the Library of Congress. This award was for his work on the Pisan Cantos, written while he was in the outdoor army detention camp in Italy. Eliot supported Pound amidst the backlash from the media, which did not support Pound at all at the time. It was loyalty to art, to history, to a man who had once saved his work. Ezra Pound tried to rebuild civilization and was nearly destroyed by it. T.S. Eliot broke and chose restraint, faith, and survival. Even after their lives diverged, the bond between them never truly broke. Eliot remembered the man who saved his poetry in his darkest hour. Pound remembered the man who quietly defended him while the world condemned him. Their loyalty was not sentimental, it was rooted in respect, shared craft, and survival. One saved the poem, the other saved the poet. One survived chaos, and the other preserved it. In the end, their friendship was a testament to what literature can demand of us. Not blind loyalty, but courage, discernment, and a willingness to stand by a mind that matters, even when everything else has crumbled.
A crowd flowed over London Bridge. So many I had not thought death had undone so many. Sighs, short and infrequent, were exhaled, and each man fixed his eyes before his feet. Flowed up the hill and down King William Street, to where St. Mary Woolnoth kept the hours with a dead sound on the final stroke of 9.